Welcome back now. Having lost his leg in an accident, our next guest turned the trauma into triumph, and as he became pivotal in bringing amputee football to Ireland, and now he's on a mission to bring the sport to underdeveloped countries.
One of the founders of the Irish Amputee Football Association and General Secretary of the European Amputee Football Federation, Simon Baker, joins us now. Good morning to you, Simon.
Morning, Simon. How are you?
Thank you for joining us this morning. Simon, we'll talk about the project in a moment, but maybe you'll take us back to being a very busy man, having a team of people working for you, and the accident that took place that you could never, ever plan for.
No, it's just as simple as the things, you know. We often talk about accidents and that in the workplace and that, and it was the most simplest of accidents that happened to me, and I just fell probably 12 feet, smashed my leg to pieces, went into work one day, and that's it, life changed. I suppose really I never had any time for anyone that was sick or ill, anyone that used to work for me. If they're watching, they'll know, because if you miss one day, I'd leave you home the second. Yeah. Suddenly your perception changes. Do you know what's important in life? You think it's money, car, change the house, keep this.
You were very focused on work, weren't you? It was
I
kind
was,
of your
because
world.
it wasn't even about money, it was reputation. Do you know, I worked on a reputation that people knew that I was good at what I did. And that for me was more than money. I had some good lads working with me and everything like that. And then one day, suddenly your life changes. That's it, bang, small fall.
And then you went through hell then, basically, Simon, for a year. There was a series of operations on the leg, different treatments, and then...
Well, I suppose I lost my independence.
Yeah.
And the other thing was, I didn't lose my leg, I lost my identity. Yeah. And that's with anybody that gets a disability. And it's a tough lesson in life to learn. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't take it too well. No. And, you know, I think the thing for me, when I was 22 weeks in and out of hospital, and I had good people around me, you know, you're getting better every day. So, but it's when you come out. And I often put it to, like, you know, we say about women with postnatal depression, it's when people stop asking how the baby is and stop inviting you around, that's when suddenly it hits you. Yeah. Do you know? And I think that's, they say post-traumatic stress, that's exactly, it's after the event, the day you get the leg, the day you suddenly go to yourself, right, I'm going to sort of live a normal life. And then everyone goes, are you all right? Do you want me to open the door? Do you want to see? You're disabled.
So it's other people's behaviour, even though you're managing to get your head around it slowly but surely.
Other people had a disability,
how other people treat you.
Yeah, other people had a disability, not me. Do you know, I had an ability to get on.
Yeah. Does that turn into resentment, Si? It's like, stop treating me like...
No, not at all. They just don't understand it, so you've got to educate people. But I say today, I'm lucky, people can see I'm missing one leg and they're, oh, poor you have a disability. Everyone out there now watching has a disability, and I guarantee, even in this room, there's people with a bigger disability than me. Can you pay your mortgage? Is your relationship going well? Is life going well? Have you college fees for the kids? They're all disabilities. Can you afford this month's mortgage? It's a disability. If you can't do what you want to do, it's a disability. So we all have a disability. It's how we deal with it.
It's just that yours is more visible and sudden.
Yeah, well, I suppose it's visual. You know, I mean, we look now at mental health and big things like that now today. You know, we're a nation and we're a world that if we don't see blood, you're not injured. You're not sick.
Yeah.
So, But look, it's been an amazing experience. 11 years ago today, I was in the nut house. My wife is watching. She's probably going to say, don't say the nut.
Don't say that.
But I was.
But you were.
I was. And 11 years on...
Because reading your research notes, Simon, and I was saying to you before we come on, like, it is an incredible story because you literally... You did pull yourself out of a pit of despair because you hit rock bottom. I
did, but I'll be honest with you, you know, I can't take all the credit. I have a fantastic wife who, at the time, was going to college, and I'd say I was the thesis because she was studying at college. But no, I had fantastic people around me. Do you know? And you're only as good as the people around you. And even with all I've done today, I'm only as good as the people around me. And I think sometimes we're so busy looking forward where we've got to go. Yeah. We sometimes don't stop and look back and say, do you know, I've come a long way. So if we're climbing up the mountain, we're so busy looking at the top, we forget that we're halfway up.
Where did, if we can fast forward then through the road to where you are today, so you get back in the gym, where does football start arrive on the horizon?
Sport became my medicine. As I say, 11 years a day, I was in the nut house. And suddenly I said I had to change my perception, change my life. Moved to Limerick, couldn't move to a better place. Limerick, sporting capital of Ireland.
Yeah.
You know, I made some really great people, Jason Kenny and UL and Alan Ward, and they took me in. And I was afraid to join the gym and things like that. I then did the marathon, ran the marathon on the crutches in 2008.
When you say you were afraid to join the gym, what were you thinking?
Well, because I would be up on the treadmill and people would look at me as if to say, should you really be on that?
Okay.
You know, are you all
So
right?
you were
Do want a
paranoid
hand?
or
yeah,
feeling
well,
embarrassed?
it wasn't them. And people probably wasn't saying that. That was me.
Yeah.
So,
but it's a very human emotion to have. You know?
100%.
You've never been like this before, so...
Look, you can finish work, you go home and you think, oh, I can't be bothered to go to the gym, or I don't want to go for a walk with the dog. But when you go and do that and come back, you feel energized.
You never regret it.
Increasing endorphins. So sport became my medicine. I realised that after the marathon, and I had to try and reinvent myself. And by trying to reinvent myself, I did the marathon. The following year, I said, I'm going to set myself a goal and a target. And following year, I put a crew of people together and we walked from Dublin to Limerick, which was a bit crazy, 257 kilometres in 5 days. And then suddenly I looked around and I said to myself, you know, I joined the Limerick White Collar Boxing and I did a tournament there, fighting in the ring with Michael Carruth. Jesus, this was amazing. Like. But at the same time, it was about being accepted.
Yeah.
And they were very good because they said to me, if you can't do it, just tell us. And I said, that's grand.
Yeah.
You accepted me. So I'm in doing the same as everything else. If I can't do it, I'll tell you I can't. Then I looked around and I said, there must be some other nutcases out there like me, because as somebody with a disability, they said to me, get in a wheelchair and play wheelchair basketball. Nothing wrong with wheelchair basketball, but I didn't need to be in a wheelchair. I needed to be upright. Then they said to me, go swimming. Well, I didn't swim when I had 2 legs, so now I was even worse. I was just going round and round in circles. And then I found Amputee Football. And then I found another man, Christy McElliott, used to play with St Pat's under Brian Kerr, and then played captain Ballymun to 2 junior FAI Cups. And he was my Willy Wonka. He was my golden key to get me in places.
Okay.
And then between my drive and his ability and
His
connections, that's Irish Amputee Football started. And we brought into Usher
There's the
Jordan.
team there.
Yeah, we brought in.
Now, this has gone from strength to strength, and we want to try and get onto your recent trip. Tell us about what you're doing now in terms of getting the message of Amputee Football, getting that message out there, but also then trying to bring it to places where they don't have the funds.
Well, at the moment now, they've just put it this way. In Ireland, they've just set up the league. I'm now gone. I resigned last year after the thing because I'm too busy with Europe and I want to concentrate not only on Europe, on the world. And we're trying to change the image. We don't want people to say, we want people to say, wow. You don't want to pat us on the back. We want people to look at us. These are athletes. These lads are athletes. These lads ran. I had these lads running the Great Limerick Run, and they did a marathon relay. So 4-man teams did 10K each. They all looked at me and laughed. Afterwards, they did it no problem.
So you've just completed Project Amputee Football Tanzania.
Yeah, so that comes under my European hat. The reason we did this was what I wanted to do was make football accessible to everyone. We're part of the European Amputee Football, comes under the UEFA Football Social Responsibility Programme. So I made connections with the International Committee Red Cross. And through that, then I said, well, look, you're out in Afghanistan playing football. Let's... You're bringing wheelchairs and stuff like that. So what's the logistics? A pair of crutches and a football and bang. You don't even need goals, just 2 jumpers. Do you know what I mean? So we went out and they listened to me. 2 years ago, I went to their biannual AGM in Geneva and I spoke about Amputee Football and I made a connection with a man called Subhash, and he rang me last November and said to me, look, would you come to Tanzania? So I said, I will. He said, we want you to come out and do coaching. I said, well, I'm not a coach, but I'd love to come to Tanzania. And so I said, right. So my mind started. Anyone that knows me is sitting there now.
You're thinking 4 steps ahead now.
I just start. Then I start, and it starts off as a little thing. It just snowballs, and everyone comes with me. So I then turned around and I thought, could I put this together? And I sort of made all these promises. Look, I said, have you got crutches? No. Have you got balls? No. Have you got kit? So what's the point? So I said, listen, if I'm going to come over, I want this, 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 this. And he said, all right. So I made him promises, and when I come off the Skype call, I suddenly went, how am I going to do this? So I rang a few companies and to look about getting haulage and sending it out there and everything like that. And then I sent John Delaney an email. And I said, John, could I meet with you? And he's normally very dubious because he knows I'm asking for something. So John met me. The door's always been open. I met John Delaney, the CEO of the FAI, went in. First thing he said to me is, Simon, I don't have any money. I said, that's grand. I said, I need you to open doors for me. So he said, all right. And I said, I need to bring Christy McElliott with me, who's an amputee. He's a UEFA B coach. And I said, I want to bring him. He's my buddy. And I knew what he would be able to do there. And he said, all right. And I said, now I need to bring someone from communications with us. And we brought Emma Mullen, and she must take
Would have been cheaper for him to give you all the money. Actually,
Exactly, yeah.
So he suddenly said to me, he said, this is already costing me money. I said, no, it'll stop there now. But he was brilliant because he bought into it. He knows what I was trying to do.
Well, that's good to hear that you got the right reaction there.
No, it was fantastic. And then he made the connections with DHL. And then we sent 357 kg of equipment.
Listen, there's a book in all of this.
I don't know.
We will have to have you back because you are focusing on Gaza next year.
Gaza, it's already in the pipeline, April 2019, April, May 2019.
And we popped up all the details with the website. If people
And
want
look,
to
if there's anyone out there in Ireland and you just go onto the Irish Amputee Football Association website, they're heading off to the World Cup this year. Wish the lads all the best.
Give them support, get behind them.
And look, if anyone's interested, get in touch. We're looking to start regionals around. We have Shamrock Rovers, we have Cork City and Bows.
And you won't turn any corporates down, I'm sure, for sponsorship.
No, and if anyone wants to come on board, brilliant.
Good man. Listen, thanks for coming in and
Not
sharing
at all.
your story.
Thanks a million. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Simon. Now, after the break, more Deb Styles on the catwalk. See you back here in 3.